In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the parking brake shoes on your Honda Pilot. These are located under the rotor in the rear. Let's get started. Using a 19mm socket, we're going to remove the lug nuts. Remove the wheel. Using a 12mm socket, remove the caliper bolts. Remove the bolts. I'm going to grab the caliper and pull it slightly forward, and then remove it off of the bracket. Put this somewhere where there will be no tension on the hose. Right up here, it can sit on the top control arm. Remove the pads out of the bracket. Using a 14mm socket, we're going to remove the caliper bracket bolts. Remove the bolts and the bracket. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, we're going to remove the two screws for the rotor. On the sides of the rotors, there's two threaded holes. These will fit an extra bolt if you have one. I'm going to screw it in. Then we're going to use a little drill and push it farther. And as we push the screw in, it's going to push against the hub and push the rotor off. And I'm just going to go back side to side doing this. And then remove our rotor. We're going to remove these top two springs. I'm going to be using a drum brake toolkit. If you don't have this tool, you can use a pair of needle nose pliers or a pick and pull the spring up and off. Remove the springs. Using a pair of pliers, we're going to grab the bottom spring. Remove the spring. I'm going to remove the adjuster on the bottom. There's a small shim up top. Remove the spring. Using a pair of needle nose pliers or a drum tool kit, we are going to depress this spring and then twist the cap and remove the spring from the rod. I have one thumb on the back of this pin. I'm going to push down, turn, and then remove it from the vehicle. And the pin will fall out the back. Remove the top plate. We're going to remove the horseshoe clip. I'm going to use a pair of pliers and put one jaw on the top of the clip and the other on top of the post. And I'm going to squeeze and push the clip up like that. And we're just going to keep working it off. You can take a flathead screwdriver and put it in between the clip and the post and give it a twist. And that'll sometimes pop it right off, just like that. Under our horseshoe clip, we're going to find one washer. Then we can remove the shoe from the parking brake lever. Install the new shoe onto the parking brake lever. Install the washer. And put your horseshoe clip on. Using a pair of pliers, we're going to set the horseshoe clip. We're just going to basically do the opposite of what we did to take it off. And once you have it installed, grab the two sides and pinch and lock it down. I'm going to put one of the pins through the backing plate. Fold our shoe up. Put the pin through the shoe. Install our spring, our locking cap. Compress the spring, turn it a quarter, and lock it into place. I'm going to put the other pin through on the other side. Get our shoe in place. Install our spring and lock. Push it down and lock it in place. Install the spring onto the plate. We're going to feed the plate in this way and then put this groove on the other shoe. We're going to return the adjuster to the fully closed position and then install it. Install the bottom spring. Install the washer. Put one spring into the right shoe. And install the spring. Do the same thing on the other side. Using a wire brush, clean the surface of the hub. Using a clean rag and some parts cleaner, we're going to clean the surface of the rotor. Spray it down, wipe it off. Flip the rotor over. And do the same thing. Install the caliper bracket onto the vehicle and get the bolt started. Torque the caliper bracket bolts to 41 foot-pounds. Install the pads into the caliper bracket. Using a piston compressor tool or a large pair of pliers, we're going to push back the caliper piston. When you do this, you want to do it nice and slowly. You don't want to force a bunch of fluid back really quick. And get the caliper into the fully retracted position, and then install it. onto the caliper bracket. Install the bolts. Torque the caliper bolts to 27 foot-pounds. Install the rotor screws. Install the wheel. Get the lug nuts started. Torque the lug nuts in a star pattern to 80 foot-pounds. And you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.